So today I've been working on sanding down the brick, as you can see, and I actually just had to go pick up some more of these. These are the exact ones that I use, and I love them. They work great. And then the Dyco company actually sent me these. So these will work good for right here where the drill cannot fit, to get all that extra mortar out. We will have to run back out to Lowe's this evening and go get some brick sealer, just because our hardware store in town didn't sell it. So what my goal is to sand down all the brick from the floor to the ceiling right here. And then for the studs, we're just going to leave the bottom half showing. If you follow on Instagram, you already know this, but from here down, what's not sanded, we're not going to worry about sanding on the studs just because it takes so long. And it's going to be hidden by the stove and the countertops. But we are going to sand down all the brick, and then we have to seal it. Like I said, we're thinking an acrylic sealer, just because brick is so porous, and if you get any kind of liquid on it, so if grease splashes on it, or any kind of liquid gets on it, like spaghetti sauce or something while I'm cooking, it's gonna stain the brick. So anything that gets on brick, it absorbs. It has to be sealed. And we will also seal the beams. We're thinking with linseed oil, the same as what we plan on doing the floors. That way it'll match exactly, because the floors that we're putting down are poplar, and then these are also poplar, so it should match perfectly if we seal them with the same thing. I think we're thinking the linseed oil. But I'm going to finish working on sanding down this brick, and I'm not going to do a time lapse. I don't want to bore you guys. You guys have seen me sand brick a million times on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and sand it, and I'll show you the after whenever I'm done. So yesterday I ended up finishing sanding down all the brick, but I was hoping I could get it sealed today and cleaned and everything, but I don't think that's going to happen because I have to wait on Ben to get home. Up there at the very top, that still needs to be sanded, and right there on the beams, I'd rather just him sand it whenever he gets home, and then I can clean everything up. And then hopefully I'll get to clean the brick and then seal everything on it tomorrow. And over on Instagram, I've been getting a lot of questions asking why we don't just use the muriatic acid and why we are still going to seal it. But so I wanted to answer that here also, because I know it can be kind of confusing. But muriatic acid, all it does is it'll clean off the haze that's on the brick. So right here, the brick is kind of hazy, where the mortar dust is all over the brick now, and it's dull looking. So all the muriatic acid does is it'll clean up the brick and help bring the color back to the brick, if that makes sense. Muriatic acid is not a sealer at all, so we still have to go back in with a brick sealant, which essentially makes it like waterproof or water resistant. So this evening when Ben got home, he finished sanding down all the wood for me, especially up there and then up here. But right here, we kind of messed up. If you can see, the timber sits a little bit back behind the brick and then definitely behind the beadboard. So we can't get those few like lines right there. But we're just going to roll with it, and hopefully it'll turn out okay, because we can't sand them out. We don't have a sander small enough. Like the orbital sander is too big, and our little square sander is too big. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the muriatic acid. So in these buckets right here, I've never used muriatic acid before, so I'm very nervous about it. So it's recommended 1-to-10 ratio. So 1 part the muriatic acid to 10 parts water, but I did more like 1-to-30. So I can always add more as I go if I need it, but I'm pretty nervous about it. And I'm not trying to take tons off. Like, it's not like I'm trying to take the mortar off. I've already taken care of that. All I need to do is just and honestly, I'm probably only going to put it on the brick part because I don't want it to mess with the mortar. All I want is the face of the brick to come back, like the color come back, just to remove the haziness. And so then I have baking soda and water in this bucket. And I don't know, I just dumped a whole bunch of baking soda in there. Probably one of the small boxes is how much I did, but I have a huge box. So probably just a small box is how much I have in there. And then it's a 5-gallon bucket, so probably, I don't know, 2 gallons of water. I don't know how much I'll need, so I just did a lot. This is to neutralize the acid. After it starts like looking how I want, I'm going to neutralize it with the baking soda. After applying the muriatic acid, I found that it also darkens your grout lines. So if you want light grout lines, avoid putting it on your grout lines. Just put it on the face of your brick. I just finished with the muriatic acid and I did the top part last. So you can see that it's starting to dry some, and I think I'm going to leave it and let it see what it looks like whenever it fully dries and then go from there, because I think I kind of like how some are light and some are dark. But I'm going to let it fully dry and then we'll go from there. It's been several hours and the brick is completely dry now, and so is the mortar. I don't know if you can tell, but this side of the mortar is definitely darker than the bottom half here. I'm not really sure if it's the grout or if it's something I did, but I really don't mind. What I'm going to be using to seal it is this 511 Impregnator, and This is supposed to be good for 20 years. All the other brick sealers that I found, you have to reapply them every like year or so. It's supposed to be good for 20 years, so we will see. And I'm probably going to be working in small sections just because it says that you have to wipe it off. You have to put it on and then you wipe it off in 3 to 5 minutes. And if you mess up and it does harden on you, all you have to do is apply more and then wipe off. I just bought this super cheap like foam brush, and it's small. That way I can work in small sections and get in the small cracks. And then I have a paintbrush also, and gloves, and a mask. So it's been probably about 30 minutes since I applied these test sections down here, and it definitely darkens the brick a lot and the mortar, and I'm honestly not sure if it's going to. I cannot find very many before and after pictures or videos on YouTube or anything that really like show a wall done like this. Mostly they're sealing other natural stones. Like I haven't seen anybody really show brick, so I'm not sure if it's going to stay dark like this or within the 24 to 72 hours it's going to lighten. But either way, I'm okay with it. Like I like it like this color, and I like it dark because the walls are going to be white. So any way that this looks, it's going to help it stand out, I think. So like it's going to look fine like this and like this with white walls. I think it's going to match and be perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and start working on applying it to the rest of the brick and the mortar. And then honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I've already used quite a bit of it, so it soaks up so much. So I may have to run into town and go get another bottle of it before I can finish this. As soon as I finished applying the first coat of the sealer, I did go back in immediately and start applying the second coat of sealer. So I just got it finished. I put linseed oil on the beams, and then the brick, it's got 2 coats of the sealer on. Everything is still pretty wet, so the wood especially will lighten a little, especially over time. And then, because you can still see it's shiny, so it's super, super wet still. And then I'm not sure about the sealer. I really don't know if it's going to lighten or darken or just stay the same. I've never done it before, so I guess we will see. But either way, I'm so happy with how it turned out. All the walls are going to be white beadboard, and then vertical boards down here that are going to be white. Overall, it's going to be like, this is going to be the main focal point, and then white on the sides. So I cannot wait to see how it all comes together.